everyone, welcome back to another episode of Magnetic and Memorable Show. This is your host, Emma Tiebens, and today I am so excited to have my dear friend who is a life and business coach as well as the podcast show host for Inspired Conversations with Amy. So I'm so proud to have here with us Miss Amy Schuber. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Emma. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it so much.
Oh my gosh, thank you for indulging us on such a short notice. So, Amy, I've known you for at least 10 years. We've gone through so many ups and downs in our businesses and in life in general,
Yeah.
right? But you have the unique ability of really inspiring people, and you live and breathe inspiration.
Thank you.
So tell us about what you do and how has it worked for so many people all over the world?
So I am a life and business coach and also a podcast show host of Inspired Conversations. And I, about 10 years ago, I went through a transformation of my life and my job and my work, and my heart was calling me to do something else, and I didn't know what that was, and it took a lot of courage for me to change what I was doing and what everything looked like, quitting a job, moving from different city, and taking a big risk on myself. And I always knew that I was meant to do something else than work in corporate America. That really just didn't inspire me, and that's when I got to that place of really wanting to do something different for myself and having no clue what that was. It's like I was the director of marketing at a really great company and just wasn't serving me. And it should have. On paper, it should have. I lived in San Francisco, I had a great job, I had a great place, I had great friends, and I was really unfulfilled. And I find a lot of people are in that situation where we're doing things that don't serve our heart and we feel unfulfilled, but we just settle for that. And it's not okay. One of the things that inspired me the most many years ago at the Women's Conference, Maria Shriver, when she was hosting it here at the California Women's Conference, she read a Hopi poem, and the very last line is, "We are the ones we've been waiting for." And even now it gives me chills when I say that, but it struck me. And in that moment it struck me, I was looking for answers outside of myself when I had them all along.
So we are the one we've been waiting for.
We are the ones we've been waiting for.
And that really actually catapulted your desire for being inspired by you. It ties in perfectly.
Absolutely.
Right? So we're the one we're waiting for, so you be inspired by you.
Yeah.
Because if not, who else is going to inspire you?
Absolutely.
Right?
Like, I don't know what inspires you. I don't know what you're good at. I don't know what your heart is longing for. I don't know if you love the beach or the mountains, or you love to run or do yoga. Like, I don't know that, and only you know. And I can't tell you to do anything that's outside of your heart to serve you without knowing who you are, and you have to articulate that. And sometimes we've become so like mediocre in a lot of the choices we make and boxed, and we don't take those risks to find out who we really are. And I experienced it too. I did all the things I should have done. I graduated from high school, I went away to college, I moved away from college and moved away to a big city, got a corporate job, I had it all together, life looked good, life seemed good, and then it's like, really? This is it? No one told me I could do something that I love to serve my heart. And that's how that has been the evolution for me, and a revolution for me to be inspired by me. And it's hard. I won't say it's easy. Sometimes I have this stirring to do something different, like podcasting. I have no idea. Had no idea how to do that. And I'm in over 100 episodes in. I've interviewed some best-selling authors, some people who have made a global impact.
Celebrities, I saw the names.
Yeah, they're amazing people. And why? Nothing, not because I'm special, but because...
But yes, you are.
Well, but because I had the calling for it, and I said yes, and I follow it, and things show up. And there's something bigger there for me. I have a lot of intention around doing the podcast, and it's serving my heart, and it's serving me in a really big way, but my intention is for it to serve others also.
And it's ripple effect, because you're not only serving you're serving the person you're interviewing, right? And the people they have an impact with, and the people you have an impact with. So the ripple is really big. And it leads me to the question, what is the most common mistake that people think about when they have their own message, but they don't feel like it's worthy of being heard?
Wow, I think it's not trusting themselves. And it goes back to what I just said about seeking other people for the answers, thinking the answer is outside of you. The answer is inside of you. We always get the download or the knowing of what's for us. Have you ever been in a relationship that you knew just run its course, or maybe in the first moment you met them, you know, you knew maybe there was an attraction, but you knew it wasn't going to work, and then a year later you're like, whoops, I knew better. Do you know? And that's in a job, a relationship, a friendship, anything. And we don't trust ourselves. So we're not trusting ourselves. So, you know, I didn't have the inspiration to create this show. You did. You didn't have the inspiration to create Inspired Conversations. I did.
Yes.
You know, and if you did something along those lines, it would be yours to unfold from your heart and soul, and you would attract a totally different audience, a totally different lineup of guests, just like this is. And nobody can create that for you. It comes from your authentic self. And I think for us to know ourselves on a deeper level and express that in the world, and the mistake we make is not trusting it. You know, we know if a job serves us, we know if a relationship serves us, we know if our family serves us. What my success is and what your success is, what my best life is and what your best life is, are completely different things. We don't get to know ourselves. That's the mistake. We don't get to know ourselves, and we don't trust ourselves.
Mistake is we don't get to know ourselves and we don't trust ourselves.
Yeah.
I think that's what you do is so important, because where did I read somewhere that said that inspiration is just like taking a shower. You just don't get inspired once and then that's it, right?
Yeah.
You got to do it constantly and over, because inspiration is like somewhat fleeting, don't you think?
Yeah.
It comes and you're so inspired and you're like so aligned, the energy is great, and then something just, you know, wedges itself there, and then you go like, okay. So you reach for the next inspiration, a little bit of this, and then you reach for the next level, right?
Right.
So what do you suggest to our friends who are watching on how they can be mindful that they need to seek that inspiration, that it just doesn't happen automatically?
I think I would suggest that you notice where you are right now, right here and now. Where are you? Are you happy? Are you miserable? I mean, wherever you are, it's okay, no judgments. But take a temperature of your life. Where are you in your life? And maybe notice what's calling you. Is something calling you? Something more is calling you. Maybe you love your job, but you're not satisfied and you're feeling there's more to it. Maybe you need to stir up your creativity. Creativity is a great way for inspiration and self-expression, because it doesn't mean you're this fantastic painter. It just means maybe you love to paint, or you need to get your art book out and draw, or cook, or dance, or do yoga. Creativity is anything. Creativity is the sky's the limit, right? So I would say you've got to hone in to notice where you are right now, and then, you know, what inspires you, because what inspires you is different, like I was saying. And sometimes it's reading, sometimes it's watching TV, sometimes it's taking a walk in nature. Personally, I can't live without nature. Every day I have to connect to nature, and every day I'm served by that. Inspiration is one thing, but then you've got to take that inspiration and create action. So it's that inspired action that has to happen next. I'm lucky to live in Southern California, where I can sit outside and meditate, and all these things come in for me for the day, right? I let it all go, I let my day unfold based on my schedule, but I have that time of connection, so then I can get into inspired action. You know, our divine purpose knows more than we do, and if we follow that intuition and trust ourselves more, a lot more things would unfold in having an inspired life.
Right.
You know?
I think you brought up a good point, is that we don't trust it. We're not aware of it. I think the first step is to really be, like you said, the temperature, check your temperature on your inspiration level, right? And like you said, there's different levels of the need for inspiration. So like you would go for a walk, you do your meditation. Some people probably don't meditate yet.
Right.
Maybe there's something that they can explore, right? But I think that's where having someone like you to support them, right?
Right.
At what point should they reach out to someone, you know, that goes beyond just reading a book? When do you think, you know, because some people, misconception or a mistake that they do is like, okay, I'm just gonna ride it through. You know, I'm feeling this, you know, there's a calling or there's a prodding in my heart, but I'm gonna ride this through. What point should they contact someone like you? I mean, it doesn't have to be you. There's so many life coaches out there, of course. Obviously, I'm talking to you, and you've helped me so much in my own life and business. So at what point do you think should they reach out to someone like you?
I think someone should reach out when you feel it, like I need help, I need someone else to guide me, I might need a bigger influence. And when you feel like you need accountability, When you need an accountability partner, that's what a coach is for you. An accountability partner, a space holder, holding the intentions, maybe helping you develop your intentions because you don't know where they're going to come from. And I think when you need someone beyond like a family or a friend or someone who knows you for your perspective, it's an outside perspective that you want. Someone who sees something you don't see. And it could be all the positive things, because sometimes our family aren't that. They just maybe say, oh yeah, good job, or they give you all the negative things, you know, they might be the sabotagers. But, you know, I think when
they're afraid for you to fail.
Yeah.
Right, because they don't know either.
Yeah.
Right?
And I think when you're ready to take the next step, take the risk, you know, invest in yourself. That's when I've always done it. You know, I'm a coach and I have a coach. I have mentors.
I do too.
Right.
I have too. Right.
You've got to have them because they see things that you don't see, and they see when you get blocked, and they lovingly help you along, you know, and help you see something you don't see. So, I mean, I feel like if any of this resonates with you and you're at the point where you're thinking, yeah, I might need to look for somebody else because books just don't do it, find a coach. See and interview your coaches to see how they fit for you, because that's important too. You've got to have the right fit.
Yes, and there's so much skepticism out there as far as the coaches. You know, that's why I say it's a misconception that they don't need coaches, but they don't understand that, gosh, having a coach could make the difference between guessing for years, living in misery for years, or, you know, taking that leap.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean, you look around at the people who are really successful, whether they're athletes, you know, golfers, football, they all have coaches. They all have guidance telling them how to make the play, how to win the game, how to, you know, get a better stroke on your golf game, or, you know, all that. And in a lot of different areas, you learn how to cook from somebody, right? There's a teacher. And a coach isn't always a teacher, but it's someone who gives you guidance and holds space for you. That is the most important thing. And I think when you don't have someone holding space for you to see your vision for yourself and what your mission might be, that's where a coach really comes in handy. And
like a lifeline. A coach is actually a lifeline. Like phone a friend. It's not a friend, but it's someone who really would give you a very objective, you know,
and holds you accountable.
Holds you accountable.
You're not being accountable. I mean, there's times when I'm dragging my feet on things, you know, like, let's say podcasting. You know, I had some coaches when I was creating my podcast, and there was a whole lot of reasons for me to not, you know, press play and create it, make it live, because I had fear around it, because I didn't know, you know, if anyone was going to listen or if anyone cared, or you know, I don't know.
I forget what to say.
Yeah, and it was fear. You know, it's just fear, and sometimes you need someone to just give you that perspective, and you're, oh, okay, I can move through this. And a lot of the times we think we can do things ourselves, but if you're getting the same results that you've always had, you know, then it might be time to look for help. Right. You know, to seek out help, because I think everybody needs an accountability partner in life. I wish it was something that, you know, even counseling in school, you don't really go to the counselor. You know, you kind of dip in every once in a while when you need them in like high school, and then you leave. I don't even think I ever went to a counselor in college. But if someone would have held my hand, I think I might have been way more productive, because I would have had more guidance. I would have had a clearer plan. Maybe would have done the work myself, because someone would have told me to do the work myself. It's not outside of you, it's inside of you. I feel like I learned.
Just cut the learning curve, or the heartaches, and, you know, the frustration.
Absolutely. Yeah. If someone would have told me many years ago that I had all the answers and to trust myself, I think I'd be in a totally different place right now. Right. You know? Right.
So you are, I remember, you held the space for me many, many times. You are an excellent supporter and empowerer and equipper of women, you know, entrepreneurs and those professionals as well, or transitioning professionals. So have you been like this ever since you were a child? Have you ever thought about yourself as someone who would inspire people or impact people in this manner? What did you love as a child? What fascinated you?
Gosh, I loved people. I was everybody's friend as a child. You know how there was lots of cliques that always was, I was everybody's friend. You know, like I bounced from group to group, and I was everybody's friend. I'm naturally maybe a peacemaker. You know, naturally, that's my sign too. You know, I'm a very balanced person, and I have a lot of unconditional love for people, and caring and nurturing. And it's funny because I think that translated to, you should be a teacher, you should be a nurse, all these professions. None of that resonated with me. But as a coach, it's absolutely on track for who I am and where I've been in my life, because I was naturally that friend and person that people could rely on. As a coach, I feel like that's a really great you know, quality to have. Yeah, trait to have, because I want to feel and present myself that way, so someone feels safe
and trusted.
Yeah. So that I feel like, when I think back, I was a good friend, a fun, creative person, loved to dance, loved to play, and silly, and light. And I think you need that. We need that a lot more now than ever in our lives, When
did you realize that you are actually magnetizing people, relationships, resources into your life? Have you always known as a young person that you are magnetizing things, or things are happening with you and you're responsible for some of them? Or did that happen as a result of your personal growth, your tuning inward and knowing who you really are?
Yeah. Honestly, I think it's always happened in my life, but I wasn't always aware of it. And I'm more aware of it since I've been tuning in and connecting and being really intentional. I don't think I've always lived with intention consciously, maybe in college or after college getting jobs, but I always knew what I wanted and I would get what I wanted, but I didn't connect it. I wouldn't have connected it to I created that, or I, magnetized that because of me. Now I have a whole different understanding because of all the learning and studying I've done, and I recognize that I'm the source of that. So now I know, absolutely, but no, I haven't always known that.
Okay.
But I think it's a quality that, I think you learn to be conscious of how magnetic we can be.
And being magnetic also includes your ability to differentiate yourself, right? And to be able to communicate, like you said, articulate who you are, because all of us have different stories, different beginnings, different whys.
Right.
But when you started being able to do that, how did your life change?
Wow, it's every day, it's such a blessing, because when you have the awareness of what you want to create for your life and what you're up to, not just maybe what you want to have as in physical manifesting material, but in how you want to impact people and make a difference in people and for people, that just opens you wide open, So when you recognize the power that you have and the answers that you have, and that when you step forward in your own power and your own truth and what the impact that is on other people, amazing things happen. Things that you never would ever expect in a million years.
Like 110 podcast episodes in less than a year.
Exactly, with some really well-known people that...
With some well-known people. Anyone can do 110. Well, not really anyone, but it's not just anyone. We're talking about celebrities, politicians, best-selling authors, successful entrepreneurs and professionals. A whole different niches of people, and you have access to all of that.
But the secret to that is?
Tell us.
There's a secret. I just asked.
Simplified right there. You just asked.
I have a list. I have a long list of my people I want to ask to be on my podcast, right? There's probably 500 people on that list, contact list. And I just started asking. And then it formed itself. The people started saying yes. Some people haven't responded. It's okay. It forms itself. I just asked. There's some people that are like, how did you get that person? Some of the people I know, so for celebrity reasons, they're my friends, so they said yes. But some of the people I blindly asked. I just asked. I just stepped into it, and I trusted. And I don't care if they ignore me or say no. I don't care. I'll ask the next person. You just started, and you just start moving, and that's inspired action. That's just keep going, because it's going to pop. Something's going to happen. Something will shift for you. And it's true, just like anything, there's a small percentage of people that start something and then finish something or stick with something. And you want to have the intention that you want to go all the way with it, right? You're not going to start a game to leave in the first quarter. You're there for all 4 quarters, right?
Right.
So it's whatever that is for you, just make the commitment, and then it will come to serve you and show up for you.
Because there will be detours.
Absolutely.
There will be detours that are oh my gosh.
Yeah,
right?
The podcast, there were so many things that lined up for me to do it in the beginning, and I felt really inspired and really supported, and then all of a sudden I had to learn all this technical stuff, and then I fell flat, and there were days where I had no inspiration, I don't know how to fix this, and I don't know how to do this. It's a lot of technical stuff that I'm not a techie. I can learn and make things happen because I do it all, producing it all myself right now. And
That's
so
great.
there are moments where you're not inspired. So you've got to figure out your why. You've got to go back to your why. Why are you doing it? And then get out of your own way and keep going. And then be in action. And then that inspiration shows up again to support you.
So you're a very public person. Is there anything else that people don't quite know about you that they might find interesting or inspiring or mesmerizing?
I mean, I'm a lot funnier than I might come across because I feel like...
It's really funny. We hung out at the Internet Marketers Cruise in 2010. Oh my gosh, what an experience that was.
That was so fun.
We had a blast. We went to Caribbean and we hung out at the spa most of the time, but talk about funny, yes, she
I think I have
funny.
this hilarious side of me that a lot of people don't see because I don't know. I tend to take myself seriously, and and it's I take it seriously what I do, and I really am for people, and I want people to know that I care, and I think that nurturing, caring, sometimes it doesn't seem funny, you know what I mean, because it's just different. I also love to tap dance. I don't think people would know that about me.
I did not know that about her. Oh,
tap dance of all things. I love to tap dance.
If you had a big stage, I'll have you to tap dance, but you're not having your tap dancing shoes.
And I have tap shoes, so I could do it. So I love to do fun, silly things. I love to hula hoop. I love to get out of the box. So being a little different and having some fun and being unique and letting that out and not caring if people judge me for tap dancing or hula hooping. I don't care. Just who I am.
So what kind of legacy do you envision as a result of all this that you've put your heart and soul and resources to?
If I can impact somebody and they've heard something I've said, or I've coached them in a way that up-leveled their life, or they were able to change something and make a difference for themselves, that's what matters to me. If a miracle could happen because they heard somebody interviewed on Inspired Conversations, if they could hear it and do something and take an action step to make a little change or a tweak in their life, that's the legacy I want. I really have an intention to inspire people to be leaders of their own lives. And what I mean by that is to be inspired by you, to be inspired by what's inside you and your heart and your authentic voice, and go out in the world and live that truth. Whether you hear it from me or you're inspired to go get a coach because you saw this and it's not me, it's somebody else, and that doesn't matter to me. The fact that you would actually listen to yourself and hear yourself and then move forward with that action is the brilliance. And if that can be my legacy, I have numbers and I have ideas of how I want to impact people, but the truth is, if I can impact one person, then it matters. And I've done my work here, but I know it's bigger than that.
Already impacted hundreds, if not thousands, my dearest. So that's so beautifully said, and it's really authentic, and I'm inspired just by listening to it, right?
Thank you.
So you have some gifts for our audience right now, right? You have
I do. So if you were to go to guide.amyschuber.com, you can get the Ultimate Life Guide, which has the single most important reason why you're not living a life you love. I think we might have covered it in this conversation, but if you want to have something tactical to look at and fill out and a reminder, you can go there and get that for free. You can also subscribe to my podcast. There's lots and lots of inspiring interviews, and that you can download that at iTunes or Stitcher Radio, and you can also go to inspiredconversations.net to see all the interviews and listen to the ones you want.
Excellent, Amy. Well, this has been most wonderful. I'm so happy you graced our show with your presence. I just adore you.
Thank you so much for having me. I love what you're up to and the work you do, and you are making an impact on people. So thank you for being here and doing this work, because it's so important. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, there you have it, my dearest audience. This is my friend Amy Schuber. So make sure you check out her link, listen to her podcast. I love it. I have it on my iPhone. And, that's a plug. And I can't wait to see you again next time. So until then, here's to success with satisfaction and significance. And bye for now.